freestyle travel. Hey everybody, Kenny Flannery here. I am in Chico, California. One of my favorite towns in the world, place that I visit time and time again, and that's kind of what this episode is going to be about, is all the places and people that I've visited over the years and what that's like a little bit. So I'm going on my, it'll be 18 years living out of the backpack this year, just purely nomadically. So there's a lot of people, family, friends, new friends that I've made, places that I've gotten to revisit, sometimes every year or two, sometimes every 3, 4, or 5 years. And just want to talk a little bit about what that's like to be on the road for this long and see different friends and family just sort of in snapshots. You know, I come and visit them for a few days and they get to catch up on my travels, and I get to see what they've been up to. And, you know, I've seen over 18 years, friends evolve, you know, family evolve, move to different places, how their situations have changed, different relationships, marriages, having kids, different things, and just kind of what that's like to pop in and out of people's lives and see how things have changed and how places have changed. Chico, for example, I've been coming here for the last 16, 17 years, and yeah, one of my favorite spots, so it's definitely cool to come back here and see who's in town and catch up with whoever that is, and usually make 1 or 2 more friends when I come here and see my favorite places and little beer spots that have changed. They've definitely changed. So yeah, that's what this episode will be about, along with hitchhiking from Wyoming over here to Chico. And I got some stuff to talk about with trip hopping and the collective coming up. That has changed a little bit, and speaking of trip hopping and family and friends, it's a good time to bring up Magic Mind, the mental performance shot that I've mentioned many times on these previous episodes. It's a 2-ounce little performance shot that you can take in the morning with or without your coffee. Actually, if you take it with coffee, it enhances the effects of the coffee, but it's just a little focus drink. These guys reached out to me some time ago and sent me some of their Magic Mind, and I really liked it. I used it when I first was getting back into coding, and it was a huge benefit there to help me focus during the day, and especially on something like code. And there's a little bit of caffeine in there and a bunch of other nootropics and adaptogens. They use all these special mushrooms that they grow right in California, so it's really good company. I've really enjoyed chatting with them, going back and forth. And so far it's just been that focus drink that I've used and been talking about, but they recently came out with this sleep elixir too, and I've been lucky lately staying with family and friends. A lot of them have been using Magic Mind, and some of my family is actually using this sleep elixir, which I have not tried personally yet, but my mom in particular said she drinks this Magic Mind sleep elixir about a half an hour before she goes to bed and has been getting really good sleep. And sleep is probably more important than any coffee or anything else for your performance during the day, staying focused. So pretty cool that they're making that now too. So they reached out to me. They've got a bundle going on, and they gave me a 45% off code. So you guys can check that out. This is the first time they've done that. Had the sleep elixir bundled up with the classic performance shot. So pretty cool. Get you going during the day and get you some good sleep at night, so you'll be better the next day. So I would recommend giving it a shot, especially because you get 45% off. I mean, that's a hell of a deal, actually. Let's see, they gave me a code here. It's if you go to magicmind.com/freestyleshowjan, like January, I guess, magicmind.com/freestyleshowjan, you can get 45% off of that new bundle. So do that. Should be pretty cool. I've got a whole stash of Magic Mind there in Phoenix for the trip hopping collective that I've been talking about. If you've been listening to the show, Trip Hopping's the travel app I started making myself just over a year ago to link up with travelers in real time, see where people are hitchhiking around the world, post ride shares, and just sort of a travel search engine that aggregates all the different ways you can stay somewhere and ways you can get somewhere, just so you can see on one screen, like, all right, I need to get to wherever. Here's where I can hitchhike from. This is how much a plane costs, how much a bus costs, all that. Trip hopping. So I've been working on that, and the collective was supposed to be throughout February in Phoenix, Arizona, and just the other day, my buddy whose house we're going to do it at kind of canceled. It's just saying some issues with the house, and yeah, it's just not ready. Won't be ready by February to have that many people over there, which is unfortunate, but there's other solutions, so I'm not too worried. Very worst case, I'm just going to go there solo and have some people helping out remotely. So I'm bringing it up now in case you are one of those people that either wants to help out remotely with the trip hopping project, and it doesn't matter if you're a coder, a designer, a community builder, if you want to just help do some research or input some cool stuff. Someone reached out the other day that they just want to like input a bunch of stuff about Route 66. Like, that's cool too. Whatever it is you might want to help out with, there's something there for you. And if you're doing it remotely, easy. If you are going to be in Arizona in February and you are interested in helping out in person, still reach out to me. And yeah, there's some other options, some other places where we can get it done. And yeah, we're going to make something work for sure. So email me at kenflannery@triphopping.com. if you're interested in helping out, like I said, either remotely or you are going to be in Phoenix. Even if you're just going to be in Phoenix just randomly, or Arizona in general, and you just want to hang out, reach out, go grab a beer or something. Come over, drink some coffee, drink some fucking Magic Mind, and yeah, have a conversation, spitball some ideas, whatever you want to do. Feel free to reach out. I'm easy to get in touch with, either through that email, kenflannery@triphopping.com, or through all the different social media junk, at uberhobolifestyle on Instagram, for example. Reach out. I would love your help with trip hopping. Like I said, there's plenty of stuff that can be done. Even if you don't have an idea, there's stuff a 13-year-old could do. And I can help you figure out what you might want to help me out with. So that's what's up with trip hopping. Let me get into the bulk of the episode here and just talk about revisiting places in general, and specifically some interesting rides and stuff hitchhiking through Nevada and California this past week or two. All right, let's jump into it. Alrighty, yeah, so like I was saying, this summer it'll be 18 years that I've been living out of my backpack. The longest that I've stayed in one place in that 18 years is 2 months, which has happened once or twice, like during that lockdown stuff in 2020. That was one of those times, but generally I'm in one place for a couple days, maybe a week or two. Always on the move. Been to many countries around the world, always skipping around, so I've made a lot of friends over the years, for sure. And some of those friends I've seen here, seen there. I've seen when they were traveling, they're no longer traveling, or they travel periodically. I've got family and friends that some of them live in the same place they did 18 years ago. Some of them have moved on, and it's been just kind of fun for me, tripping around to be able to see these friends and just, get a little snapshot of their life every few years in some cases, and just see how they've gone. So that was just on my mind recently because I was in Wyoming seeing family for Christmas. The last episode I recorded was just between Christmas and New Year's. And even my mom living out there, she's a good example. When I started traveling, she was living in Connecticut and has since broke up with who used to be my stepdad and moved out to Wyoming and found a new boyfriend, and then they got married, and now she's out there, and just perfect example right there. My mom, just to see her scooting around through life, having a good time, and just every time I see her, something's a little bit different, and a lot of friends like that. So that's the first kind of example. I'll just kind of move along through the hitchhike there. So I left actually Wyoming. I was going to spend New Year's Eve in Reno. So there's actually a little shuttle van. I was the only one on that rode down to Salt Lake City, and I was able to see a friend there. And again, met this friend in Salt Lake through a couchsurfing host back in 2008 or 9, something like that. I was hitchhiking up through Salt Lake, stayed with this girl, and then met Cam. he was actually, when I was couch surfing with this girl, Candace, he was sort of like interviewing to be the roommate, like the same night that I got there. So I got there and she's like, let's go to a brewery. I said, hell yeah. I'm pretty sure Cam came along with us, and he ended up being the roommate. So we ended up becoming really good friends. Actually, I'm in better touch with him than her over the years, for sure. And yeah, same thing, just to see him every year, every few years, whatever ends up being. It's pretty cool just to check in, and I get to share my stories about wherever I've traveled to, and get to see him and how his business is progressing, and he's getting married now, and like, well, it's just cool. Cool watching the days go by. And this was no exception. This is just a fun night. So I was catching a night train to Reno, so I had like 4 or 5 hours, about 5 hours to hang out in Salt Lake. So he came and met me downtown, and that's what we did. We went to a few breweries and just like caught up on old times, reminisced on some nostalgic kind of stories, found out what he's up to now, some of his business travels and stuff. And it's cool. I actually saw him in Ireland back in March was the last time I saw him. He was there for business. So it's another thing I like about my lifestyle, is that I'm always somewhere, and sometimes I get to cross paths with someone else who's randomly there at the same time. So that was pretty cool. That's one of my goals with trip hopping too, is to make those random crisscross more common, because sometimes I miss people, you know. Actually, it happened this trip. It happened in Reno, which I'll get to too. There's a dude in Reno that I definitely would have loved to hang out with, and just had no idea he was there. If only he was on trip hopping, it would have worked out. So yeah, caught up with Cam, and great night. Got on the train, good and hammered after a good night of drinking with him. And yeah, caught this overnight train to Reno. Got to Reno New Year's Eve day. I had free rooms to stay at Circus, the hotel there, 5 nights for free, and that free casino rooms, I think that whole thing is going to be coming to an end by the end of January. So just milking it a little bit while I still can. So spent New Year's Eve there, and yeah, like I said, I missed out on a dude totally. Like somewhere on the 2nd or the 3rd of January, I got a text from a friend in Chico, actually, and he was just wanting to say what's up, and it turns out he was in Reno New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve day, so totally fucking missed him, because I just ended up going to a brewery and kind of just shooting the shit with some people there for midnight and all that. But I totally would have found out whatever he was doing and linked up one way or another. That's what one of the things I'm trying to do with trip hopping, is just make sure you don't miss out on people, which is just a mixture of importing your contacts from your phone, trying to link up with different services like Facebook and other places where people might post a picture or otherwise say where they're at, give up a location, because I hate that. I hate that when you find out, oh, what the fuck, we were in the same place at the same time, especially somewhere like far away or something. Just be like, god damn. That would have been awesome. Like in Ireland, I think that happened 3 times with my buddy I just mentioned and other people where it actually worked out, and somehow we did get in touch with each other and find out, oh shit, you're in Ireland, I'm in Ireland, let's hang out. So more of that. That's one of the goals with trip hopping. But yeah, missed out on him, but I'm sure I'll be seeing him now that I'm in Chico tonight or in the next few days. So that'll be cool. But yeah, went from Reno to Sacramento, hitchhiked there. That was a decent little day of hitchhiking. Several rides. The longest ride was just getting out of Reno. Sometimes getting out of cities is tricky. Just because, I don't know, there's a lot of cities in the U.S. have like a pretty good homeless contingent. And a lot of people have their own opinions about homeless, or, they assume they're drug addicts or whatever, which, is the case sometimes. And anyways, they see me with a backpack, and sometimes, dude with backpack just equals whatever their preconceived notion of someone with a backpack is. Whether it's someone who stole the chainsaw out of their backyard, or someone who harassed them on the street asking them for money, or just someone they consider dirty or whatever. I don't know. It just makes hitchhiking out of cities a little bit slower, but it always works. It still works, of course, and it did work. I got a ride from a guy who was originally from the Bay Area until he got shot 7 times. I somebody. And he's paralyzed, so he had one of those gizmos to drive his car with just his hands and stuff. He got me to Truckee, and he's been living in Truckee for the last 5 years, just trying to get away from the bullshit and people that he knew over there in the Bay Area. So that was the first ride. Then I got a ride instantly in Truckee from a girl who's going skiing, snowboarding. Flip side of cities, anywhere where there's like outdoor stuff going on, like river sports, snow sports. Those are the easiest places to hitchhike around the world, in my experience, for sure. Just because some more people do it recreationally, you know. In big ski towns, there's some people who hitchhike to the mountain every single day. They just don't have a car and they just hitchhike every day. Same thing with rivers. People gotta hitchhike just logistically to get back to their car, blah, blah, blah. So people are used to it in those kinds of areas. So I was not surprised that I got a ride from the very first car. She was only going a few exits to the next ski hill. But same thing, when I got there, I got picked up by a couple in an RV who was going a few more exits to the next ski hill. And then this guy picked me up who was going all the way to the Bay Area to catch a flight to the Netherlands, actually. He was really cool. He's affiliated with Keen shoes, Keen footwear, which maybe you don't know this about me, but I've been wearing Keens since I started traveling. They just have this one shoe that's like kind of like a sandal with closed toes. So to me, it's just been like the perfect shoe. So anyways, it was just kind of cool to get a ride from a guy who is sort of associated with them. He's on the legal aspect of that and some other outdoor companies. So really cool guy, just a type of dude who just lives his life, you know. He's got a few kids and gets them outdoors and just, you know, aims for a rich life. He's doing good. So he was going right through Sacramento, so he was able to drop me off pretty close to where my buddy's at. And to get back to the theme of the episode, that's my buddy Aaron. He's been on the podcast before. His wife has been on the podcast before. And that's a great example because I met him in school long before he met his wife. So I've seen him all throughout my travels. Actually, when I first started, even before I hitchhiked, and I was just traveling without hitchhiking the first few months I was on the road. Aaron had bought me a train ticket from Montana, where I was at, to Portland. I went to Portland and couch surfed for the first time for about a week, and then he got me a plane ticket from there to Sacramento to go hang out in the very start of my travels. So I've been seeing him before and since the beginning of the travels, and yeah, perfect example of what I've been talking about. Like I said, he didn't even know his wife when I was first going to school with him. Just got to hang out and see the different places that he lived around Sac and different jobs, and meeting his wife when she was just a girlfriend, and going to San Diego, partying with her and a bunch of other cool people down in San Diego, and then eventually them getting married. I went to their wedding, and just, yeah, now he's got twin daughters and stuff, and just pretty awesome just seeing him over the years, seeing the different situations as they go, and then just sharing all my bullshit stories from the road and however I got to his place. And yeah, I've hitchhiked to where he's at and from where he's at so many times. Just that whole area is familiar now. The different parts of that city that I've gotten dropped off and picked up and walked through. Ran through his place with different girlfriends before, different buddies, and yeah, just awesome having a friend like that and seeing things change over the years, and just, pretty cool. And this time again was awesome. The only difference was someone tricked him into not drinking using alliteration. They call it dry January. It's fucking chaotic, man. It's crazy. Someone tricked him. I don't know who, but they call it dry January. And I think because of the alliteration, it's kind of catchy. And what it means is that he doesn't drink beer. It's pretty embarrassing. Pretty embarrassing. He was drinking fake beer the whole time I was there. It's unbelievable. Fake Coronas. I think he was putting fake limes in them too. They must have been like GMO fake plastic limes just for decoration into this fake non-alcoholic Corona. It was a sad situation, but like I said, you know, that's what happens. Snapshots of friends. You just watch things change. Fucking drinking fake Corona. One time, you know, you never know. I remember when he was drinking these Tangs. It's like Tang and a tequila or something like that. We've had some good times, but it was still fun. I drank some beer, and yeah, just caught up, hanging out in the garage, good times, just catching up on stories and stuff. So chilled out with him a couple nights. Yeah, it's crazy. His daughters are like walking and talking, and they're actually like people with personalities now. Kind of crazy to have known someone for that long and just, yeah, popping in and out. So he gave me a ride in the morning downtown to where he works to hitchhike up to Chico, the next spot. So I actually just walked a couple hours north of downtown just because it was so dark in the morning and whatever. I wasn't in a hurry to get to Chico that early in the day. We were downtown at like 7 a.m. or something like that. So I just kind of casually walked to listen to podcasts up to a better spot, stopped in the grocery store, got a snack real quick, and then hopped up onto 99, which heads up to Chico. And actually, it's kind of a slow day of hitchhiking. Like I was just saying, I've hitchhiked out of there and to Chico many times. And this was one of the slower days. It's still pretty good. It's always good. But it took 5 rides. Usually takes 1, 2, or 3. But good rides. The people who picked me up were cool. First guy was pretty chill, pretty friendly. He dropped me off in Yuba City, which is kind of like halfway. That was normal. Then this Indian dude was pretty chill, pretty philosophical. He was just going to the next place called Live Oak, several miles up. And then out of there, I got a ride to a town called Gridley from a friendly dude with his 2 kids in the back seat. And then things kind of slowed down. That's walked out of Gridley, just out in the country. There's a bunch of orchards and stuff out there. And yeah, probably walked for an hour or 2 before I got the next ride, which I thought for sure was going to Chico. And that ride was just going to a junction. That dude was chill. He gave me a joint. He's like, I just like to get high. It's like, all right, dude. Many people do. He dropped me off and then, yeah, walked for a while longer too. And then finally this hunter from Hawaii comes over to Chico every year or 2 to see his daughter. He's been living over in Hawaii for like 50 years. He picked me up and he was actually going to Chico. So he dropped me off at 20th Street, and familiarity in Chico, one of my go-to spots in this town is Sierra Nevada Brewery. I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite breweries, not just for their beer, but just like the way they operate as a company. I was just at their location in North Carolina that they opened in recent-ish years, a few weeks ago. So yeah, Chico, that's like probably my biggest landmark in Chico, besides like a friend or two's house, you know. So Chico, yeah, I've been coming here, Chico, California, since like 2008 with my buddy Walter. We had hitchhiked down from Alaska. That's how I got to know Walter. And then another time he was around in California. He's like, if I'm in California, got to go see my friend Donna up in Chico. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So we hitchhiked from Berkeley to Chico, and then I ended up making friends with some of his friends, making some new friends, and especially after I started getting into the whole marijuana harvest thing back in the day, which is kind of less of a thing now. There's some other people around town who are into that, and guard dogged with some people, and brewed beer, and went to Sierra Nevada. Won contests with Sierra Nevada over the years. I won like a beer camp thing that they did, and actually Aaron and I both won this beer camp thing and got to have this Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory kind of experience. So yeah, I've been coming to Chico a lot over the years, and especially during those harvest season years. I was sometimes spending like multiple weeks at a time in Chico. So I really got to know different people pretty well. I mean, for me, multiple weeks is a long time. So, you know, in Chico, there's plenty of places where, oh, that's where I like to get my burrito. And these are the bars that I like to go to if I'm in such and such mood. And yeah, I've got to watch it grow a little bit. Chico's gotten bigger, and people have come and gone from here. And the biggest thing I like about Chico of late is the brewery scene has definitely gone off. It used to just be Sierra Nevada for years, and there was some law, I always forget what the law was. It had something to do with like the number of stools or seats you could have versus how much food you were serving, or I don't know, some weird technicality, whatever. But Secret Trail Brewery came in here, And they got going, I think, without knowing that law, and they were pretty deep by the time they figured out that that was a thing, and they helped get rid of that law, whatever that weird thing was. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason why now multiple breweries are just popping up. So now, the last handful of times I've come to Chico, there's like 1 or 2 more new breweries. This time there's one called Ramble West. So I'm excited to check that place out. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. That's the newest one that I've not been to, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, this time, yeah, went to Sierra Nevada. At this point, one of my good friends here who actually showed how to brew beer. We homebrewed a porter on a pot farm. We were both guard dogging. Guard dogging meaning we just stayed up all night just to make sure no one would hop over the fence, try to steal the weed we were growing, they were growing. So I was like, oh, we should brew some beer. So, and he since really got into craft beer and now works for Sierra Nevada. So he was there working while I was there, but he was able to pop in real quick to the brewer's bar and yeah, just chat for a couple minutes. Hung out with him, and then yeah, got to my friend Donna's, who I always see when I'm here, usually stay with. One of my best friends, awesome person. She's lived in Chico for a long time, knows everybody here. She is Chico. So I've been hanging out with her for the last few days and saw my buddy again, the one who works at Sierra Nevada. We caught up at what used to be the Winchester Goose, like my go-to craft beer spot, that then turned into this brewery that kind of screwed up the place. They just changed the vibe. It was not as good. They were making really basic, average, uncreative beers. I think they were nice enough people. They just kind of ruined that one spot, which used to be a really cool spot. So I was surprised that this time they were gone and a new beer bar has taken its place, which has the same vibe as that last one. It used to be called the Winchester Goose. Now it's called Lobos or something. Super cool, good beers on tap. The vibe is awesome. And the Winchester Goose opened up nearby too, which is, it's not anything like what it used to be. It's in a different location, different vibe, but at least it's another beer bar. So yeah, Chico, just a familiar spot. Like I said, just been coming here for years, and just, it's always fun. I've only been here for a few days, so there's still plenty of people I got to see. I'm already making new friends. That's, like I said, what happens every time I come to this town. I see whoever's in town. Sometimes there's someone in town that isn't even from here. I'm just like, oh, what are you doing in Chico now? People are discovering Chico. It's a good town. And yeah, collaterally, I always end up making a new friend or two. That's what I like, just popping in and out here again. And it's one of the very few towns where I can walk around and maybe actually run into someone that I know. Which is pretty cool. Like New York City, the last place I lived, that place has changed a lot. Every time I go back there, there's actually less and less people that I know. But it is, because it's New York City, there's always a good chance that someone random that I met in Munich or whatever is just happening to be there. That's a good thing about New York, places like that. So yeah, I've got these little places all over the planet, but Chico is probably number one of all the places in my travels where I'm most likely to just randomly run into someone either on the street or at one of the few little breweries or bars that I like. So it's kind of cool. Joking the other day about being homeless with someone, and sometimes I say I'm home full, you know, like all I own is what's in my backpack, but I've got these little places all over the world, especially in the United States, that just feel like home, and different family and friends where I could practically just, you know, just be on their front lawn or even in their house when they got home with no notice, and they'd be pretty stoked about it, actually. So could say I'm homeless, you could say I'm home full. I don't know, but either way, life is good. This has been working out for 17, 18 years. I don't see any reason to settle down or whatever that means. I'm just enjoying moving along, seeing all these people over and over and over again, seeing how their situations are changing, and just yeah, continuing to love life. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe wanted to express for this episode and what I've been up to. Still in Chico, but let me jump to the outro and just tell you some of my ideas here for Chico and actually continuing this theme through California, what I'm thinking is going to be happening here next. So let's get into that. All right, so yeah, Chico Chico, theme of the episode being revisiting people and places and snapshots over the years. That's going to continue here in Chico. I imagine I'm only halfway through this little mish. Weekend's going to be fun. Today's going to be fun. Still a handful of people that I'm really looking forward to seeing. And like I said, I guarantee there's going to be a couple of people I didn't expect to see that I will run into. And yeah, like I said, I always make a friend or two anew. And also, I'm really excited to see this Ramble West Brewery. Like I said, it's a new one in town, so gonna head there either tonight or tomorrow, and yeah, I'll report back next episode. I've been hearing good things, at least from my buddy who works this here in Nevada, and his buddy. They said it's pretty good, so if they say it's good, they said it might even be a notch above Secret Trail, which is... Secret Trail is kind of my favorite little brewery, non-Sierra Nevada brewery here, so I'm excited. High expectations. We'll figure it out. Now I'm getting thirsty. I think I might go today at this point. We'll see. So yeah, that's my plan for Chico, at least stay through the weekend. Yeah, catch up with everybody. Going forward, I'll probably just be spending the rest of January in California, doing more of the same, catching up with friends and family all up and down the state. California is pretty dense as far as people I know and places that I like to see. So I think it's going to be a lot of skipping here and there, probably up north, up the coast towards Fortuna. I've got a friend up there I'd love to see. Family and friends around Santa Rosa and stuff. People coming out of the woodwork in the Bay Area. I've got family in LA. Great friends in San Diego, so yeah, next episode is probably going to be something along those lines. We'll see. Basically just making my way over to Arizona and figuring out what the deal is with trip hopping and the collective. If you're listening this far, again, if you have any interest in helping out with trip hopping, I would absolutely love it. There's so much stuff that can be done. Even if you just want to do some data, and if you have no design or coding skills, that's totally fine. I'm actually more interested in people who don't necessarily have those skills. There's just stuff that needs to be entered in, and I would love that. For example, there's like a ton of like Facebook and WhatsApp groups that have been created just sort of randomly by individuals. Like Phoenix Couch Surfers, and it's just a Facebook group, and Austin Rideshare. I don't know, there's all these little groups, and I would love to just have someone go through and find all these little groups and enter them in. Super easy. It's just a little time consuming. Little tasks like that. So if you have any interest in helping, like I said, you can totally do so remotely, easily do so remotely. And if you are in Arizona, I'm going to try to make something work, because the whole plan was to have a few people staying in the house, and I was going to feed everybody and go on an adventure or two, hit some breweries, but mostly just like hang out and spitball ideas and get a lot done. So I don't know, reach out. There's some other places we could go, but yeah, if you want to do the thing remotely, that'll be cool too. And we'll have some periodic video calls through February, even if I'm physically just on my own there. It'll still be fun. We'll make something work. And yeah, I said it before, but I'll say it again. If you're just in Arizona, let's hang out. Just give me a shout. Come to one of the meetups. I might do a book signing. I got a stack of books over there, so I might do like a brewery book signing while I'm in Phoenix, and whatever, just in general, always hit me up wherever. You can get on trip hopping and see where I'm at. I mentioned everywhere I'm going to be thinking about going through in California, so if you're anywhere in California, just in general, trip hopping or not, come say what's up, grab a beer or something. Always. Yeah, that's about it for now. I don't think I have much else to tell you about. If you do want to try that Magic Mind bundle of the sleep stuff and the classic focus stuff, that link they gave me so you can get 45% off is magicmind.com/freestyleshowjan. Do that. And yeah, that's about it. Life is good. Hope you guys are doing awesome, and I will surely see you down the road.
To hell with plans I made, I need a new escape. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big break.